With the most awaited bout of this year coming to a rather lackluster end with Jake Paul's victory, the boxing industry has given its immediate reaction.
Hey, what did you think of the fight? What did you think of the fight? Jake! It was disappointing. Would you like to see it again? Would you like to see it? Would you like to see Mike Tyson fight again in the ring, an exhibition match against Brandon Holyfield?
I always want to see Mike fight.
Yeah? Is this kind of what you expected?
He didn't get off fast.
What could he done different? Did Jake Paul look a little bit slow to you?
Logan, what do you make of Jake's performance tonight?
Absolutely stupendous.
What did you think of Mike Tyson?
I love Uncle Mike. He's just such a, I mean, like, that was impressive, no? For a 58-year-old. Hi, how are you? That was, yeah, he's like tough, proud of him, weathered the storm with a young brute named Jake Paul. I think Jake let him live. I do.
He wants to fight you, bro.
Yeah, he wants to fight you next. What about that?
I think he wants money. I don't think he wants to fight me.
Would you take the fight?
No.
Why? Gotta say.
I watched the first 30 seconds.
You did walk out?
And then, yeah, well, I was just with Katie anyway,
Right.
And I watched the back end, and, you know, look, I don't want to, it doesn't, it's no, I never wanted to see it, and when I did watch it, I definitely didn't want to see it.
Yeah.
But I get it, look, you know what I mean? It's just because it's not for me, doesn't mean it's not for other people.
Him getting inside the ring and everything just brought me so much joy to be able to see with my own eyes. I mean, yeah, of course you want to see Mike Tyson knock somebody out, but he's 58, man, and I'm just happy I got to witness it tonight, and he's the baddest man on the planet to me, still. Okay, still baddest man on the planet.
Do you think Jake took it a little easy on him?
Nah, I think Jake was trying to set him up for the okie doke. He was trying to play. Yeah, he was going down here, and then come on to me. He wasn't no taking it easy. Now people keep forgetting that Jake is not that experienced of a boxer, so what all can he actually do?
Ryan Garcia tweeted, "No point of that fight."
Roy, what did you think? How do you think mine looked in there?
What it was. All right, he's done, bro. He's done.
What about you against Jake?
Hey, he's done.
No?
KSI took to his Instagram to share his emotions. What a sad watch. The whole thing was sad. Mike Tyson is twice the age of Jake Paul FFS. It was never ever gonna be close. I can't believe that this elderly abuse was even sanctioned. Just disgusting.
What did you think of the fight?
It wasn't a good one.
It wasn't a good one. Yeah. Overall, how'd you just see how Jake fought, how Mike fought?
Well, you know, you can tell something was wrong with the Tyson leg, so he couldn't, his balance was off.
Oh, that's crazy. You noticed that. I just talked to his trainer, and he told me that exact thing.
Yeah.
His balance was off.
His balance was off.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. You know, overall, like, how do you see Jake growing from this, and who do you want to see him fight against now?
Well, you know, I'm like, he's a pretty good fighter.
Look, man, y'all had to know, like, y'all got to do the math. Like, you know, I get it, man. Mike is Mike, right? We all want Mike. Hold on, man. Oh, we got time. I ain't trying to get hit in this crosswalk. Mike is Mike. Mike's gonna talk the talk. He gonna have a look in his eyes, gonna make you believe, you know, I'm right there with you on that. But, like, man, I hope y'all just enjoy the situation and the fight for what it was. The language wasn't, I mean, not the language, but the legs wasn't, you know, all the way there. The legs wasn't all the way there. Reflexes ain't all the way there. But that's to be expected, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, man, respect Mike for getting in tip-top shape. You know, respect both of them for putting on this kind of event, man, because the event was live, bro. I didn't think they was going to fill it up. They filled it up. It was probably maybe a few little seats at the top in the nosebleeds that wasn't full, but, man, they did that. They did that. You got to respect that, man.
Gervonta Davis addressed Mike in his tweet by writing, "You will forever be a legend, whether you like it or not, and it will never be another one. And I understand you so well. All this don't mean nothing." Terrence Crawford tweeted, "I love Mike Tyson, but they giving him too much credit. He looked like trash. To train that long and only throw 97 punches. The whole fight is crazy. I'm just glad he didn't get hurt out there."
Come on, man. Come on, bro.
Logan!
One time, bro. Hey, bro, but I'm not the boxer.
Tony Bellew tweeted, "I don't like this stupid idiot kid, but I will say this. He stopped beating on Mike there and showed him some respect and dignity by letting him survive. He didn't go for the KO there, he stepped off him and let him be. Mike, we all adore you, King. You're superhero to all of us from Proper Fight Business." The bout that was labeled as the greatest fight of this era was anything but exhilarating and failed to meet the expectations because of the evident lack of passion and drive from a worn-out Mike Tyson, who failed to land a considerable amount of punches, causing Jake Paul to win by a unanimous decision by the judges. Meanwhile, Jake, who remained the victim of incessant criticism and verbal jabs from the public throughout the months, appeared elated at winning this fight and equipped with a newfound confidence in himself. The young fighter divulged his future plans of taking on the next big challenger in the game, who is none other than Gervonta Tank Davis, who a few months back called out Jake for a fight in near future.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be down. Let's run it. Like, I'll be super, super down. I don't know if
Gervonta needs Jake Paul. Let's be clear, right?
Is there a height limit in boxing?
Not restricting himself from other fighters, Jake even went after Canelo, stating that after the success of this extravagant event, he is now one of the top players of boxing, which upgrades him to the same caliber as Canelo or even greater, so now he would not be the one who will continue on running after the Mexican King in hopes of getting a fight.
We're 120 million people on Netflix. We crashed the site, the biggest U.S. boxing gate, $20 million in U.S. history. And everyone is next on the list. So, I'm not even going to call out specific names, but...
How about Canelo? You said Canelo this week.
Canelo needs me, so I'm not even going to try and call him out, but he knows he wants the payday, so he knows where the money man's at.
Along with these post-fight reactions from the fighters and professionals, many prominent figures in the combat industry gave their predictions surrounding this controversial event, including many notable Hall of Fame fighters like Roy Jones Jr., who was also Mike's past opponent during their exhibition bout way back in 2020. According to the statement that Roy issued in countless of his interviews leading to this fight, there was no doubt that Mike was still the same beast that he once was, and that he still had tremendous power along with unprecedented skills in his arsenal.
No, I don't fear for Mike and how old he is. Mike's a very rugged guy. When I was in there with Mike, Mike still was hard to hit, and Mike still can hit hard as hell. So, no reason to really fear for Mike. The only thing I fear for Mike is like if the fight goes beyond 4 or 5 rounds, then it could get problematic for Mike because of his age. But if he doesn't go beyond 4 or 5 rounds, he'll be fine. So I think he'll come out, assess the situation.
Though Roy appeared confident in Mike's abilities to win, one thing he might have overlooked was that he would be able to activate those skills, as that was his biggest downfall in this bout, because regardless of all the boxing IQ, Mike failed to land any solid punches or his iconic jabs. But still not underestimating Jake as a fighter, Roy gave the young fighter credit for his improvement over the last couple of years by stating that one thing that the fighter had in his power was age and strength, and if he equips them properly and tires Mike out, he will win the fight, which he ended up doing in this case.
He probably could put Jake out at any time, but of course, being 58, 59, however old he is, his timing ain't the same. So it's quicker for him to go get it over with fast than it is to wait a long time, because if Jake get in and get his rhythm, then he can get the momentum and can be problematic for Mike down the line. But if Mike go out there and just say, you know what, I'm just gonna go balls to the wall to get it over with.
Still got the power. That's why I say Jake has to get out of the first 3 rounds. Get past the first 3 rounds, he got a chance. But the first 3 rounds are gonna be devastating.
And if Mike catches them with one shot, is it?
It's over. It's over. If he throws them.
Talking about the fight in general, one of Roy's statements that turned out to be true was how this fight would be a monumental occasion and would be revered by boxing fans all around the world, because it is not every day that the world sees an old champion return once again to the ring.
I think it's a great fight, great marketing situation as well, because so many people want to see it because of the young lion and the old lion, So it's a great situation for them, a great situation for fans, because it gives him it gives Jake a chance with Mike being as old as he is, you feel me? So I think it's a great opportunity for both fighters, but I still think Mike probably gonna be a little too much for Jake.
Another one of Mike's old opponents who had the utmost trust in Mike and thought that he would surely win was Lennox Lewis, who reiterated the same ideas as Roy about Mike still possessing great power and being capable of dropping down fighters Jake Paul who do not possess any significant skills.
A lot of people concerned about him returning to the ring against Jake Paul.
What are they concerned about?
Being, you know, of a certain vintage, should we say, should he be getting hit in the head by, admittedly, you know, not a conventional boxer, but still a young, physically fit, athletic man?
Yeah, I mean, Mike Tyson knows how to defend himself, and he's boxing against a guy that not as good as boxer as he is, and Mike Tyson knows how to throw a good punch, he knows how to break you down, so I'm more concerned about the other guy.
It's a task. You know, it's hard to box at when you're that old, moving around the ring, throwing punches, getting punches thrown at you. But I think he can handle it.
Not an exhibition like it's gonna be?
No, because I would feel really bad for Jake Paul.
Further elaborating on his idea of this fight favoring Mike, Lennox added on how even though Jake was much younger and comparatively stealthier, he lacked a certain mindset and control that is essential for reaching the same level as Mike Tyson.
Well, I would hope he would go into a fight where he would win. So there's, you know, he's a boxer, he knows how to protect himself, he knows how to throw body shots,
Great.
he knows how to cut off the ring. You know, he's older than me, no, younger than me, so it really depends on his mobility, if he can move fast around the ring. Remember, he's going after a younger guy, so.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, Mike Tyson knows how to defend himself, and he's boxing against a guy that not as good as boxer as he is, and Mike Tyson knows how to throw a good punch, he knows how to break you down, so I'm more concerned about the other guy.
Giving some advice to Jake before this fight, Lennox stated that if Jake wanted to have any chance at getting out of this fight unscathed, then he needed to make sure that he stayed clear of Mike's shots, which unironically ended up not being an issue for Jake in this bout because Mike's iconic offensive streak was not seen anywhere throughout the fight.
I think it's going to be a good fight. I mean, you know, Mike Tyson, what he does is two-dimensional. He's going to come at you, trying to knock you out. Now, you got to try and stay away from him, stay away from his power. I seen him working out the other day, and he throws some good combinations. So those 6-punch combinations, he has to make sure. I'm talking Jake Paul. Make sure that he's not in the way of those punches because Tyson's a real fighter.
Lennox, who even issued a challenge to Mike for a rematch in case he won. But now with this loss and the disappointing performance from Mike, the plans might have changed because after witnessing the tired and worn out state that Mike was in, many fans are wondering if he should be participating in any future bouts.
You would take a fight with Mike Tyson if people wanted it. Where are we with that? Is that something that you would still consider, or you?
Let's see how he makes out in this fight, and then I'll tell you after.
Larry Holmes, a Hall of Famer boxer who has graced the ring with both Tyson and his idol Muhammad Ali, was all in Mike's support regardless of their contentious history in the past. According to Larry, after witnessing the excruciating and strenuous training that the 58-year-old fighters went through in preparation for this event, no one would be betting against the old veteran. Larry stated, "Mike is ready for it. He won't be taking any punches in training. If I'm betting my money, it's on Mike." He added, "And that's what I've seen today. If Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul was a Las Vegas table game, I'd be betting all my money on Iron Mike. Mike Tyson doesn't care about anything. He'll fight you right now, even though he's not in any shape. And he's going to hit you, and when he does that, it's all over." However, one aspect that Larry thought turned out to be a reality that despite his age and weak stamina, Mike would be able to pull through all 8 2-minute rounds because no matter what, he was still a tenacious fighter with a fire burning inside, and someone who would have never allowed him to yield in front of Jake Paul no matter how hard he might be beaten down. Larry stated, "I watched a clip of Mike Tyson this morning, and all I can say is that Jake Paul had better be ready if he's going to fight Mike. Mike will be able to last the 2-minute rounds. Mike comes to fight when he puts his mind to it. He goes to work on you." Another prominent fighter who was one of Mike's fans and supporters going into this fight was one of the best heavyweight fighters of this era, Tyson Fury, who thinks that contrary to popular belief, this fight would be evenly matched because an almost 60-year-old Mike Tyson with all his flaws and shortcomings was still more talented and proficient than a young and unexperienced Jake Paul.
Okay, the guy's 57 years old, but he's a former undisputed world heavyweight king, and one guy plays computers for a living, and he's come to boxing about a year ago, so pretty even match.
You almost have to respect it, right? The come up in terms of like...
Yeah. Listen, from being a kid on the Disney Channel to fighting Mike Tyson.
Tyson, who had been a part of countless noteworthy and highly publicized events like these, with his own highly awaited rematch with Alexander Usyk just around the corner, supported these new ventures, emphasizing how even though these events might not be everyone's cup of tea, one undeniable fact about them is that in hindsight they would be great for the sport and would introduce more innovation to a dying sport.
You got to admire them both, and I wish them both the best of luck, and I hope they put on a great show, which I know they will. I've seen Mike's training hard on his videos and stuff, and Jake Paul's always in shape, so I'm looking forward to a good event. People say, oh, it's shit, and this, that and the other, but I bet they still watch it. You know, I think it's fantastic for boxing. You know, you got a legend in Mike Tyson, you've got a YouTube boxer who's come into the game and blew it up, and he's got millions of followers and millions of views and millions of eyes, good, bad or indifferent. Some people love him, some people hate him. So I think it's a really good spectacle for boxing. It brings a lot of people to the game. And listen, who am I to say, oh, Mike Tyson shouldn't be boxing or Jake Paul shouldn't be boxing? Good luck to them. They're both going to make what I call a shit ton of money out of it. So isn't that what it's about?
Logan Paul, who has been a staunch supporter of his brother Jake from the very start of his boxing journey, made sure that he garnered as much hype around this fight as possible, made countless statements on how after the continuous statement and hatred directed by the fan base and Mike's supporter in the last couple of months, his brother had reached a point where he did not care about the repercussions and that he would go in there and do his absolute best in taking down the baddest man on planet Earth, which he might not have ended up achieving in the spectacular way he wanted, but he still succeeded in getting a victory.
I'm serious. No, they don't, and it's such a mistake because he's a real killer, Mike. Like, he wanted to be a Navy SEAL before he started boxing. Like in high school, he wants to be a Navy SEAL. He wanted to go kill people on behalf of his country.
Conscious of the threat that his brother would pose to an older and more frail Mike, Logan directly warned the old fighter during a podcast, stating how it would not be a good move to undermine Jake as the general public tends to do, because on the eventful fight night, he would prove to everyone how much he had improved and how he is ready to be considered as one of the best heavyweight fighters of this era.
I love you, Mike.
Same.
And I'm very nervous for you.
Thank you for caring.
I do care. I care about you. And I care about my brother. And I know the path he's on right now. And it's ruthless, Mike.
I agree. It's pretty cool.
It's cool. It's so cool to watch. And he's really crushing it. And I just feel like I want you to be okay in there, Mike.
Oscar De La Hoya, who is an eminent promoter and one of the biggest fans of Mike Tyson, seemed to be reluctant to give any prediction for this fight. According to the statements that were issued by Oscar, he seemed to be aware of the fact that Jake Paul is a much younger and stronger opponent who is going to enter inside the ring with an albeit talented but older Mike Tyson, which gives him a solid advantage and a clear chance at winning. Oscar stated, "I've seen Jake Paul's videos. He looks big. He looks huge." He added, "If it's before 3-4 rounds, I have to go with Tyson by knockout, that one-punch knockout," he predicted on Fight Hub TV. "If it goes past 4 rounds, I have to worry about Tyson's conditioning and where Jake Paul's youth can take over." Johnny Nelson was also rightfully worried for Mike Tyson ahead of this fight, stating that even though there is no question that Mike Tyson is one of the greatest fighters on the planet and possesses skills that can't be imitated by current fighters, he is still an old fighter reaching the age of retirement, which stripes away a person of the drive and passion that they once had. Johnny commented, "Let's just not be silly. We know Mike Tyson, who he was, what he achieved, what he did. We know Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. It's like day and night." He added, "We also know Mike Tyson is the same age as me right now, and if you get in with someone that's not got half, even a quarter, even 1% of the experience and knowledge you have about the game." Based on his vast experience and boxing prowess, Johnny picked Jake as the winner of this bout based on how, even though Jake still has a lot to learn and needs more conditioning, he is a young and tenacious fighter who had the spirit to take on an old legend and dangerous fighter like Mike Tyson. According to Johnny, if Tyson did not utilize the first couple of rounds and tried to land any solid punches at Jake, then he would be easily taken down. Johnny explained, "We know Mike Tyson has got all of that and more, but the one thing we as humans can't control is time. You've got youth against an older man that hasn't got the pace, so if you've got someone that's running rings around you, Mike's never gonna have the energy level to keep up with him or to manhandle him." He added, "So unless he gets one shot in and Jake Paul is stupid enough to show, try toe-to-toe it there with him. It only takes one how, but he has the speed on Mike, he has the youth on Mike, he has the fitness on Mike." So in the end, what do you guys think about the conclusion of this fight? Are you satisfied with how it turned out and how Jake ended up being the one who triumphed? Or do you think that this fight was just a gimmick tailored to make money and that it was a bad performance by Mike Tyson? Make sure to tell us about your thoughts in the comments below, and if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe to our channel.